I belong with everyone, but I don't know if this is somewhere that I could be happy.
Each person has got to follow their own road.
Having a common goal now, and getting everybody back together, that's what's always made us strong. That's why we've always won.
Noah Brown captured hearts as the fearless adventurer of the Alaskan wilderness, braving extreme weather, wild animals, and the unforgiving wild with nothing but his wits and rugged skill. But behind the beard and survival charm lies a story filled with heartbreak, tough decisions, and a family torn apart by tragedy. What happens when living off the grid no longer feels safe, and a dream turns to ashes, literally? Noah's journey from the remote Northstar Ranch to a new life in Washington is a tale of loss, resilience, and unexpected new beginnings. Noah's sudden departure. Noah Brown's sudden decision to leave the family homestead shocked fans and left many wondering what had gone wrong. Known for his deep connection to the remote Northstar Ranch and life off the grid, Noah's departure marked a significant shift in the Brown family saga. The rugged wilderness had always been his playground, yet now he was trading that wild freedom for the stability of city life. Questions swirled. Was he tired of the tough lifestyle? Had tragedy forced him to rethink everything? Or was this simply the start of a new adventure? For many viewers, Noah's exit felt like a betrayal of the Brown family dream, especially since his late father, Billy Brown, had long hoped his children would remain at the homestead forever. Billy's passing in early 2021 was itself a profound blow, and it seemed to mark the beginning of change for everyone involved. Suddenly, the home that had once represented safety and tradition was no longer tenable. People speculated endlessly about family rifts or personal frustrations behind the scenes. Yet Noah was quick to clarify that his move wasn't about leaving family conflicts behind. In a heartfelt Instagram post, Noah explained that the aftermath of the devastating Palmer Mountain wildfire forced the family's hand. The inferno destroyed much of what they owned, turning their mountain refuge into a smoldering wasteland. Almost overnight, plans for a simple life in harmony with nature transformed into a struggle for survival in a very different sense. They lost not only possessions, but a piece of their identity. Renting a house was a necessity, not a choice, and a new chapter began reluctantly but inevitably. Noah also emphasized that the mountain and Northstar Ranch would always be home. His departure was temporary, a strategic retreat to rebuild and find sustainable ways to live, given the new realities they faced. Yet even with these reassurances, it was clear that the move was bittersweet. The wild beauty of Alaska, once their sanctuary, now stood as a reminder of fragility and change. Noah's fans mourned alongside him, feeling the weight of this heartbreaking transition. Behind the public statements, one could sense a man grappling with more than just physical relocation. Leaving the homestead meant leaving a way of life built over decades, a deeply ingrained culture, and a father's dream. For a family so connected to the wilderness, this was not just a move, but a profound loss. The reality that survival sometimes means letting go hits hard. Noah's rugged image, deeply intertwined with the land, made this shift even more poignant. At the same time, Noah's resilience remained intact. Despite the upheaval, he showed an openness to the future, ready to adapt, grow, and embrace whatever came next. His determination to provide a safe and sustainable environment for his wife, Rain, and their children played a big role in his choice. For Noah, protecting family meant sometimes making the hardest decisions, even if they hurt. His story quickly became one not just of wilderness survival, but of human endurance through change. The questions about why Noah left the homestead and whether he would return lingered among fans. Could this be the end of the Brown family's deep connection to Alaska? Or was it a pause, a chance to regroup? The answers were still unfolding. What was certain was that Noah's departure was more than just a physical move. It symbolized a turning point in the family's journey. Loss and renewal were intertwined in Noah's story, setting the stage for a dramatic shift from the wild frontier to the complexities of a new life. This moment of transition invites us to look back at the roots that shaped him. Early life and wilderness upbringing. Noah Brown's story begins far from the rugged mountains that brought him fame. in the warm climate of Texas, where he was born on July 18, 1992. However, his father, Billy's love for adventure, soon uprooted the family, settling near Alaska's Copper River. From the age of 12, Noah was immersed in the wilderness, growing up alongside his 6 siblings in an environment that shaped every fiber of who he would become. This was not the typical childhood of a young boy, but one deeply committed to learning the harsh realities of nature. Noah grew up in a Christian family because his parents taught him and his siblings to work hard, while they showed him how to enjoy nature. The family needed their members to survive, so they ranked practical survival skills above educational achievement. Amy Brown, his mother, taught the children at home by providing educational material while she managed life challenges in their remote location. Noah gained unique abilities through his outdoor experiences because he had to navigate life without access to modern technology and educational institutions. Noah learned to depend on himself throughout his life through activities that included fishing, hunting, and exploring dense forests. He spent his time searching for food while he studied how to cross difficult land, construct safe places, and discover drinking water. His deep connection with nature enabled him to study the land, which made him a distinguished television personality. The way he learned things through practical experience helped him stay alive because he had to practice essential skills. The Alaskan wilderness presented various challenges that residents had to face. The Browns had to battle against various challenges, which included severe climatic conditions and medical emergencies that affected their family members. The family developed strong ties, which enabled them to handle Amy's lung cancer battle. They established a united family unit that operated successfully through collaboration and common objectives, although they lived in seclusion. The events he experienced during his life journey transformed Noah into a person who valued family bonds above all relationships. The Browns remained hidden from public view until television producers discovered their exceptional way of life. The discovery marked a critical turning point that affected both Noah and his complete family. Their remote, self-sufficient way of life offered viewers a glimpse into a world few ever see, blending rugged reality with familial love. Noah showed his resourcefulness through his outgoing personality, which he used to tackle all challenges with joyful laughter. Noah achieved success through his extraordinary abilities, which he developed during his unusual childhood. His ability to adapt, innovate, and endure came directly from years spent mastering the wilderness. He learned essential life skills through survival training, which included developing patience and creative thinking while building relationships with both family members and nature. The lessons he learned from the events would become the main topics of his televised story. Noah developed his life skills through nature-based living practices while following his family's tradition of discovering new territories through their religious beliefs. The man who gained worldwide admiration for his combination of strength and sensitivity emerged from a childhood that featured both wild beauty and challenging experiences. The beginning of an extraordinary adventure began here, which few people could ever foresee. The roots of Noah's wilderness skills and unique personality cannot be separated from this early life, setting the stage for his later rise to fame. Rise to reality TV stardom. The story of Noah Brown's leap to fame began in 2014 when the Discovery Channel approached his family with a novel idea. Recognizing the Browns' extraordinary lifestyle in the Alaskan wilderness, producers saw great potential for a reality television series. The family agreed, and the show premiered on May 6, 2014, introducing viewers to their off-grid existence filled with adventure, survival, and family drama. This launched Noah into the public eye as a charismatic and rugged adventurer. From the very first episode, the show resonated with audiences fascinated by the Browns' efforts to live away from modern society. Noah emerged as a standout figure thanks to his fearless attitude and inventive survival skills. Whether building shelters from logs and branches, foraging for food, or demonstrating fire-starting techniques, he became an emblem of toughness, blended with heart. Fans eagerly followed his exploits in harsh weather conditions and perilous landscapes. The series faced problems because its critics doubted the authenticity of its so-called reality, which they claimed showed staged content through protected scenes. The Browns maintained their successful appeal, which resulted in multiple show renewals. Their filming locations included Alaska and Washington State, which they used to extend their storytelling range. Noah presented himself to viewers in a genuine way, which made him popular among fans through his attractive personality. Noah developed into a family man who faced actual difficulties of modern life as the series progressed from his initial role as an enthusiastic bushman. Fans connected with his openness about struggles and relationships, seeing him as someone relatable despite the rugged facade. His story involved two main elements, which included his struggle against nature and his fight to preserve family ties. Noah achieved unexpected fame through the show, which he gradually began to accept. The new fame brought him both new chances and new responsibilities, while showing his emotional weakness to viewers, which made them feel closer to him. Noah established himself as the series' main character through his combination of physical power and honest personality. Noah achieved his reality TV fame when he transformed from a wilderness boy into a man who showed both rugged outdoor skills and the human capacity to overcome challenges. The show provided him with a platform to present survival skills and personal development experiences. The series became a chronicler of a unique family, with Noah at its center. His journey from isolated wilderness to national attention was remarkable, but it also set the stage for the unexpected challenges and heartbreaks yet to come. From the first spark of fame, Noah's life would shift dramatically, testing the limits of even his hard-earned survival skills. Noah's survival skills and challenges. Noah Brown quickly earned a reputation as a master of living off the land, combining ingenuity with sheer grit to navigate the harsh wilderness. Like a real-life MacGyver, he built shelters from sticks and logs, hunted in dense forests, and caught fish using nothing but his bare hands. His resourcefulness was a key part of what made him stand out on the show, as he faced the wild landscapes of Alaska and later Washington with confidence and creativity. Surviving in such unforgiving environments meant confronting constant dangers, from severe weather to wildlife encounters. Noah's quick thinking was put to the test repeatedly. Once, after narrowly escaping a grizzly bear while repairing his fishing nets, he had to perform emergency surgery on his own wounded hand. Despite these life-threatening situations, Noah's humor and upbeat spirit never faded, endearing him to fans who admired his resilience and toughness. The most difficult part of their work came from the weather conditions. The freezing weather conditions made it difficult for the crew to perform their basic tasks of hunting and fishing. Noah had to manage his food and water resources because there was not enough food for him to survive during his extended time in basic shelters. He discovered a secret supply stash that belonged to another person, and this lucky discovery allowed him to regain his missing supplies, which he used to survive the harsh winter months. People who lived in the wilderness had to stay alert at all times and handle everything by themselves. The ability of Noah to adapt required him to develop both his physical and mental abilities. He developed innovative solutions to all challenges he encountered by designing new tools with whatever natural resources he found nearby. His fire-starting methods, which used flint and dry twigs, served as proof of his survival abilities, together with his skill to build essential equipment and beds from moss and animal pelts. Noah's resourcefulness didn't stop at basic survival needs because he needed to protect his personal image. A local hunting group accused him of using illegal traps on their land because they thought he had committed poaching. Noah established surveillance cameras throughout his shelter area to demonstrate his innocence by showing he had knowledge about all things happening in his secluded environment. The situation showed how he needed to balance between his desire for wilderness exploration and his need to follow the law. Noah maintained his positive attitude, which originated from his background during his entire period of facing external difficulties. He used his playful humor, together with his light-hearted jokes about dangerous situations, to create balance with the serious nature of his life experiences. The audience found him interesting because his emotional strength showed that people could overcome hard times while maintaining happiness. His wilderness skills required him to show both physical strength and the ability to establish a direct and natural relationship with the wilderness. Noah possessed environmental awareness, which enabled him to identify potential threats while living peacefully with nature, according to his lifelong family education and practical experience. The show attracted viewers because of this connection, which provided them with a unique view into a lifestyle that existed outside of contemporary society. Through his adventures, Noah showed the challenges of living off the grid because he proved that actual survival requires complete dedication instead of romanticized survival, which shows its most attractive aspects. The mixture of tough situations with positive outcomes kept viewers interested, while they cheered for a character who could transform the most challenging situations into advantages. Noah functioned as more than a reality television personality because he represented human capacity to endure. Noah used his survival experience to show that outdoor success requires people to demonstrate their strength through boldness, innovative thinking, and persistent effort. The rugged appearance of the man hid his true test of endurance, which would begin when his family members faced their upcoming challenges. The challenges Noah faced in the wild were only a prelude to the deeper struggles that would soon confront the Brown family as a whole. Family tragedies and hardships. The Brown family's journey has never been without serious hardship, but recent years have brought challenges that have tested their resilience in devastating ways. The 2020 Washington wildfires were especially catastrophic, raging for days and turning the Browns' peaceful mountain homestead into a smoldering wasteland. Their beloved Alpine house, once a cozy refuge, was destroyed in the blaze, forcing the family to evacuate suddenly and leave behind everything they had built. This wildfire not only destroyed physical structures, but with it went precious memories and a way of life that was deeply intertwined with their identity. The loss of their home was a shock, not just logistically, but emotionally, shaking the Brown family to its core. Rebuilding seemed daunting amid the destruction, and the family's future on the mountain suddenly appeared uncertain. The family experienced another devastating loss shortly after the first tragedy. The family chief and religious leader, Billy Brown, died from a seizure in February 2021 at 68 years old. The Browns' family history ended with Billy's passing. The family and their numerous fans lost their main driving force, who created their wild behavior and their television show character. Billy's passing was deeply felt because he served as a father and a powerful role model who embodied exploration. The family's off-the-grid lifestyle dedicated to authentic living was passed down to future generations through his dedicated work. The family members who mourned his death also commemorated his life by telling stories about his achievements and his ability to inspire others with his love of nature. The Browns lost their way because their leader departed, and they entered an unpredictable phase. The family faced ongoing legal battles, which created public image problems that damaged their reputation. The Browns faced multiple indictments in 2014, when a Juneau grand jury charged them with permanent fund dividend fraud and theft offenses, which had occurred over several years. The two brothers faced legal consequences after stealing more than $21,000, which resulted in them receiving house arrest and restitution fines. The Browns experienced increased pressure from the scandal because many family members accepted plea deals while they dealt with their present challenges. The family experienced all these difficulties during their period of personal transformation. Some family members decided to leave their home because they wanted to find more secure and environmentally sustainable places to live. Noah moved to Washington with his wife and children because he needed to create a new definition of home for his family. The fires, together with Billy's death, started this process, which changed the Browns' story from surviving in remote wilderness areas to fighting against challenges while rebuilding their life. The Browns' story remained an example of persistent determination despite all the obstacles they faced. The family worked to preserve their bond with the land through their kinship ties, which weakened when they moved away from each other. Their experiences proved that no one can maintain independence because external circumstances will always have the power to destroy their most secure foundations. Noah and his siblings experienced complete wild freedom, but their shared loss transformed them into dedicated heirs who would implement their father's legacy through unanticipated methods. Noah's survival skills had once protected him from nature's dangers, but now family tragedy challenged him to survive an even harder journey, finding hope and rebuilding amidst ruins. The Browns' darkest days laid the groundwork for new chapters filled with both challenge and opportunity, pushing Noah toward choices that would redefine his future. Relationship struggles and personal growth. Noah Brown's journey has not only been shaped by wilderness survival and family tragedy, but also by deeply personal challenges in love and relationships. Over multiple seasons of the show, viewers witnessed Noah's sensitive side emerge, often contrasting with his rugged outdoorsman image. One of the most poignant storylines involved his relationship with Christy, where Noah showed a vulnerability rarely seen in reality TV adventurers. Noah held traditional views about courtship, which he used to start romantic relationships through deliberate and thoughtful actions. He made a statement about formal letter writing, which he believed allowed people to share their inner being through their writing. Noah presented himself through this quiet romantic method, which showed his dedication to building authentic relationships instead of participating in contemporary dating practices. The peaceful acts he performed during his life showed his true self to people who watched his active lifestyle. The couple encountered problems in their relationship with Christy because they could not establish a common understanding. Their second date, which featured thick milkshakes and cheerful chat, revealed a mature relationship that resembled a long-established partnership instead of a fresh romantic connection. Noah's family's introduction to Christy created an awkward situation, which made their romantic relationship's path toward courting difficult to navigate. The couple's relationship ended because they had family problems and personal disputes that emerged during their time together. Noah told the world about his broken heart because he believed Christy was his soulmate, who should never inflict pain on him. This unfiltered truth about his life moved fans and showed a softer side of Billy Brown, who usually portrayed a strong character when he connected with Noah. Noah shared his emotional struggles through open dialogue, which established deep connections with viewers because it showed how even strong people face difficulties in their love lives. The first part of Noah's personal development shows how he evolved through his romantic relationships, which required him to reflect and express himself creatively. He spent his time at his handmade writing desk because of his reputation as a poet to create poetry and heart-shaped keepsakes, which he made from deer hearts that he preserved in mason jars. The young man showed his inner struggle between loss and desire through his artistic expressions, which proved to be beautiful. The way his father called it creepy showed their relationship, which contained both warmth and complex dynamics. Noah showed his ability to bounce back from emotional challenges when he faced difficult times, yet he maintained this quality as his main personal trait. Through his personal relationships with others and his family connections and professional development, he continued to pursue his journey of self-improvement. His ability to play guitar and piano emerged as a new creative outlet, which brought him mental peace. The activities helped him maintain equilibrium between his challenges from his demanding outdoor life and his public exposure through television. Noah became a husband and father, which caused him to change his life priorities. The birth of his son, Elijah, and the expected arrival of their second child created new sources of happiness and purpose. He considered family stability and safety as his main priority, which led him to abandon his homestead in search of a more stable way of life. Noah showed his emotional development into his new role as a father through his gentle handling of all the changes in his life. Noah shows his human side when he faces relationship difficulties because he must learn to survive in extreme environments. The story of his life shows how people experience love and loss while they develop their personal identities during an extraordinary existence. The story presents these elements to the audience because they demonstrate that people who live outside of society possess common human desires and difficulties. His evolving personal life set the scene for decisions that would lead to a major change in where and how he lived, blending past legacies with future hopes. The aftermath of wildfires. The wildfires that swept through Okanogan County, Washington, in 2020 were a devastating blow to Noah Brown and the entire Brown family. As flames engulfed their mountain homestead, the once peaceful and majestic landscape was reduced to ash and rubble. The destruction of their alpine house was not just a loss of property, but an upheaval of lifetimes of hard work and memories carefully woven into the forested hillsides. This catastrophe forced the family into a sudden evacuation. The atmosphere was tense and chaotic as they fled, leaving behind the place they had called home for years. The wildfire raged relentlessly for a week, consuming everything in its path, including the shelters and supplies the Browns had painstakingly built to survive the wilderness. The dramatic scene resembled something from an action movie, but for Noah and his family, it was a deeply personal tragedy. In the aftermath, the Browns faced the daunting reality of starting over. With their home gone and resources scarce, they needed to find alternative living arrangements. Noah and his wife Rain made the difficult choice to rent a house for themselves and their son Elijah, signaling a major shift from the off-grid lifestyle they had once embraced so fully. Although painful, this move was a strategic decision focused on safety, sustainability, and the needs of their young family. Noah took to social media to explain the situation and quell rumors of family discord. He reassured fans that the move was not due to any internal conflicts, but stemmed directly from the wildfire's destruction. He made it clear that Northstar Ranch would always be their home, but that temporary relocation was necessary until they could rebuild and recover. This transparency earned him empathy and support from viewers who appreciated his honesty. The wildfire created greater destruction because Billy Brown, who had previously supported his family during difficult times, the Browns reached their critical moment because their father died and their mountain home disappeared. The fires consumed everything, but they endangered the family because they would destroy their identity and their family ties. The Browns demonstrated strength through their difficult experiences. Noah demonstrated the family's permanent spirit through his commitment to developing his sustainable future. The Washington rental property served as a space for the family to create their new life, while they kept their connection to their history. The birth of a new child shortly after their move symbolized hope and fresh beginnings amid the ashes. The wildfire destroyed everything, which made fans face a brutal truth that they still did not understand. The situation demonstrated that wilderness life exists under permanent threat, and people must face their hardest challenges through teamwork and bravery. Noah learned to survive through physical fights, which turned into an emotional experience together with his family. From the ruins of wildfire devastation rose the need for profound change, pushing Noah and his family to reconsider what home truly means and what future they want to build. New beginnings and future outlook. After devastating wildfires and the loss of their family patriarch, Noah Brown began a new chapter away from Alaska. He relocated to Washington State with his partner Rain Brown and their son Elijah, choosing a more stable, modern environment. The move marked a major shift from the rugged wilderness he had known since childhood, both a practical decision and a fresh start for his growing family. Despite leaving the homestead, Noah remains deeply connected to his roots. He has reassured fans that Northstar Ranch and his ancestral home still hold lasting meaning. However, raising young children required access to stability, safety, and essential resources that remote life could no longer provide. In Washington, Noah blends his outdoor identity with modern living. His home may be modest, but it offers comfort, opportunity, and strong family support. The arrival of their second child, Adam, brought renewed hope and joy after a difficult period, symbolizing a new beginning for the family. Fans have also seen a different side of Noah emerge. Beyond survival skills, he expresses himself through music, playing both guitar and piano. His creative work, combined with his distinctive style, shows a more artistic and reflective personality, allowing him to connect with audiences in new ways. Although the Alaskan Bush people family has spread out geographically, Noah remains a beloved figure among viewers. Changing circumstances have led family members to pursue safer and more sustainable living situations, reflecting how their lives continue to evolve beyond television. Noah's journey highlights resilience and growth. While the wilderness tested his physical strength, This new chapter challenges him to develop emotionally and socially as he builds a stable future for his family. His story reflects a balance between honoring one's roots and adapting to change. Now settled in the Pacific Northwest, Noah focuses on creating a supportive, sustainable life. His move does not close a chapter. It opens new possibilities for growth, happiness, and purpose. Noah Brown's story is one of adventure, loss, and resilience, revealing that sometimes the greatest journeys happen when we embrace change. If you found this story compelling, please like and subscribe for more fascinating tales from the wild and beyond.